Hey pageant fans, welcome back to another episode of Standouts on Pageantry. In this episode, I'm going to be recapping Miss Supranational 2025. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Hey pageant fans, welcome back to another episode of Standouts on Pageantry, where we talk all things pageant related. I'm your host, Teresa. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new here, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the opening number. I love the opening number outfits. I thought they looked so angelic and ethereal. I thought they looked really beautiful and just very stand out on stage. But one thing about the opening number that I felt was a little bit off was the choreography. I did not feel like that choreography went with those costumes. It was kind of feeling like those girls wanted to get down with the choreography, and them outfits that they were wearing did not feel like the kind of outfits that you would get down in, if you get my drift. Like, they were doing some moves up there that I was like, this just feels a little bit off. So I think maybe next time they kind of need to look at that, like make sure the outfits, the costumes match the choreography so that it can feel more cohesive. You know what I mean? Also, another thing that I noted was that the pacing of the show felt like a little slow. Like, it could have been a lot faster, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I get it. We're not on network TV, so they have as much time as they want to stream. They're streaming on their own channel. They're not really paying for that stream time. So, yeah, like, they could be as long as they want, but I felt like we took way too long to get to the top 24. At least for me. I'm kind of girl, like, I want you to get to the point, especially if you're doing a top 24 cut. Like, let's go. Let's get to it. Let's get the show started. We had like 2 musical performances before the top 24 was announced. I felt like we didn't need to have that. We could have gone straight from opening number, intro, maybe a little bit of a chit chat with the girls or something, or just go straight into announcing the top 24. And then after the announcement of top 24, then we could have had like our first musical performance. So those were a couple of things. They also did have a couple of script issues where the hosts were meant to be saying something, but whatever they were reading on their scripts was just not correct. So they had a little bit of issue there. And another thing that I noted was that there was some issues during swimsuit round where the lower thirds with the names and countries of the girls was not correct, which kind of threw me off a little bit when I was trying to make my list of who stood out, because I started getting confused with some of the girls because I'm not super familiar with their faces and like their countries. So I'm like, oh, I don't know who this is, but I know it's not this person, you know. Like, when Miss Philippines was up, they had someone else's name and country up there, and I was like, that's Philippines. I know that one for sure. So there's a couple of hiccups there, but honestly, usually their show is pretty flawless, in my opinion. Like, I've really enjoyed their shows in the past, so I just chalk this up to there being like a little bit of a mishap this year, and it happens from time to time, so no biggie, but I think they'll need to work on those things for next time. Now, something that I did like was all the videos that they were showing of the contestants exploring Poland and having fun in the hotel rooms. Like, I thought that was really cute and fun. So I love those little pieces. I love when they show us little tidbits from behind the scenes of the girls. I think that that's always really fun, with the girls just getting to be themselves and be fun and just, you know, hang out with the other girls and just show their personalities more. I really like that. Now let's get into the top 24. There were some surprises for me personally in the top 24, such as Guatemala, Nepal, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Spain, Bolivia, and Korea. These were ladies that I didn't have originally on my predictions list after watching prelims, so I was pretty surprised to see them in the top 24, but happy for them nonetheless. The top 24 competed in the swimsuit round, or the confidence round as they like to call it, and I absolutely love this segment. I thought the red swimsuits and the red cape was very much giving Victoria's Secret fashion show. I thought the ladies looked stunning. I love that the ladies were on stage all together. I thought that was really fun. I know some people might feel like that might have been a little bit distracting when the ladies were doing their individual walks, but I personally didn't mind it. I was still very much focused on the person who was walking at the time. Now, I have to say, before the ladies even started walking, my eyes honed in on Brazil, because let me tell you, even from the prelim swimsuit competition round, she stood out to me very, very early on as someone that was she just had it. You know, you look at her and you're like, wow. She's got it. She's got it going on. So to me, from prelims, I thought she stood out to me, and there was no one else who came after her. And I felt like she brought that same energy to the swimsuit round. I thought she did really, really well. I also felt like Colombia did well. She had a really bubbly walk, and as well as Costa Rica. Costa Rica was bringing the heat. She was bringing the fierceness. I thought Curacao and Czech Republic did okay. DR, I thought, had some really good poses. Germany, oh my gosh, this girl has such a gorgeous face. She actually looks like an actress who used to be in Pretty Little Liars. She was Spencer's older sister. I'll put a clip of her or a picture of her here on the screen so you guys can see the comparison. She reminds me so much of this actress. So I thought she was beautiful. I love her walk. Like, I felt like she had just such a natural, effortless walk, and her presence on stage is just beautiful to witness. Iceland, she gave us a sweet and sexy walk that I enjoyed. Philippines had good turns, strong poses. USA, face card does not decline. Like, her face card, amazing. Zambia, she's got the walk down pack. It's no wonder that she won the Supermodel of the Year award. So good job to her. Also, Puerto Rico, she was not someone that I felt was high up on my predictions list, but she really impressed me. And UK, I'm super impressed with UK. Even from prelims, she also had that it factor going for her. For the announcement of the top 12, the ladies changed into their black outfits, and there were a few surprises for me here, namely Ukraine, Czech Republic, and Bolivia. These ladies continue to surprise me as they advance, but I was happy for them. You know, I always love when pageantry gives us a little bit of a surprise. So I was excited to see them in the top 12. Once the top 12 was announced, they then had to give a 20-second speech from the heart. I thought Ukraine did an excellent job selling herself. I thought that was a really well-prepared speech, and I really enjoyed it, and I felt her passion. I also thought US and Iceland, they did like okay. You know, they were just kind of on my edge. But Philippines, I thought, did well. Costa Rica spoke a little fast, but she did well. Curacao, good, but she ran out of time. So did Germany. Germany also ran out of time, but I thought her response was pretty decent. And UK and Brazil, I thought, did very, very good. From there, we went into the evening gown, and here were the ladies who stood out to me in evening gown. Brazil, Costa Rica, Germany, Iceland, Philippines, Puerto Rico, and UK. Now, unfortunately, they didn't do a top 6, they did a top 5, which I felt if you have a top 12, you should do a top 6, half and half, right? But they did a top 5, and in the top 5 were Puerto Rico, Philippines, Brazil, Curacao, and Germany. So then they did their Q&A, and honestly, I personally did not feel like there was anyone that gave me that mic drop, oh my gosh moment, like this is so memorable. I don't feel like anyone really gave that kind of response. Also, I feel like Miss Supranational is not really big on the final Q&A section of the competition. Like, I've seen in the past where girls who haven't really answered the question as strong as other contestants still go on to win. So I didn't feel like this was a big deal breaker for any of the contestants. I thought Puerto Rico had a decent answer. Philippines did okay. Brazil did okay, but I didn't really feel like she nailed it. Curacao did pretty decent. I felt her passion, her conviction, and I thought Germany had a decent response. Now, in terms of my predictions based on everything that I saw, here's how I would have placed them. 4th runner-up Curacao, 3rd runner-up Puerto Rico, 2nd runner-up Germany, 1st runner-up Philippines, and the winner would have been Brazil. Now moving into the announcements of the Continental Ambassador titles. I wasn't really surprised by any of these. Africa was Zambia, Caribbean was Dominican Republic, Europe was Iceland, Asia and Oceania was Indonesia, and Americas was the US. And the actual results were 4th runner-up Puerto Rico, 3rd runner-up Philippines, 2nd runner-up Curacao, and 1st runner-up Germany, with the winner being Brazil. I'm not surprised by the winner being Brazil because, like I said, she was a clear standout to me from the prelims, and I felt like there was no one who really matched her energy. I mean, she looked regal, she looked like a goddess, she just walked so effortlessly, and she just looked stunning while doing it. So I thought, from beginning to end, she was the overall winner, even though her answer to me wasn't quite as strong as it could have been. But like I said before, I don't think Miss Supranational really holds that in high regard, because I've seen in the past where women who didn't really answer the question as strong still went on to win. So maybe they're considering other things. Maybe that segment is just low, has a lower scoring or a lower weight to it. So it's not as it doesn't carry a heavy weight. So they're not looking at that as harsh. But I'm really excited that Brazil won. She really stood out to me. I'm happy for Puerto Rico making it. Like, she really impressed me. She wasn't very high on my list, and I don't know why, but I'm really happy for her. And of course, Philippines did amazing as always. I thought Tara really, really brought it, and I loved her evening gown. She looked stunning in it. And yeah, I thought Iceland looked like a pink Barbie doll. Like, she was so gorgeous. I loved her from the beginning as well. She was a clear standout. And Iceland is not a country that we see placing very often in pageants, so that's really exciting to see other countries that are not often placing place. So overall, I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see what Miss Brazil gets up to in her reign, and I'm wishing her all the best. You guys comment down below your thoughts. What did you think about this year's edition of Miss Supranational? Like I said, they definitely had some hiccups and stuff, but overall, still very enjoyable. I love that they had Donnie Walker there. She was a prelims judge as well as a backstage correspondent. I can't wait for her video because I can't wait to hear the insights. I'm just very, very curious to hear her thoughts. I can't wait. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful week. Bye.